When developing short courses, we often focus heavily on content, the knowledge and skills we want to deliver. But equally important is how learners actually experience that content. Today, I want to explore how to design compelling, effective learner experiences that drive engagement, completion, and real-world application. Let's look at a few key considerations that can uplift your short course from simply informative to genuinely transformative. The learner experience starts long before the first lesson and continues well after the final assessment. Think of it as a complete journey with distinct phases. Each of these phases has some key considerations for how to improve the learner experience. Let's start at the pre-course. How do learners discover your course and what information helps them decide it's the right choice? Consider creating short previews, clear outcome statements, and an easy enrollment process. Then we move to onboarding. How do you welcome and orient your learners? A strong start builds confidence and sets expectations. Consider welcome emails, orientation packs, or kickoff sessions that establish the learning community and explain key information clearly. Onto the core learning. This is where most of your design effort likely goes, the actual learning content and activities. Consider who your learners are, what their needs and goals for this course will be, and design the materials and activities to deliver on those outcomes. Next is application. How will learners apply what they've learned throughout and once the course is over? Build in workplace application activities, reflection points, and social learning to bring materials to life in a context relevant to each participant. Finally, post-course engagement. Consider follow-up resources, communities of practice, or alumni networks that extend the learning relationship and support ongoing implementation once learners are back at work. Each phase should be purposefully designed. Make sure to give as much consideration to the supporting phases as you do to the learning materials themselves. Professional learners value flexibility, but also benefit from real-time interaction and often do need support in being kept accountable and motivated to complete the learning. Finding the right balance of synchronous and asynchronous activity depends on your course's objectives and your learners' needs. Synchronous sessions like live webinars, workshops, or coaching are ideal for complex topics requiring immediate clarification, collaborative problem solving and discussion, and also building community and relationships, as well as providing accountability and structure for the learners. Use asynchronous elements like pre-recorded videos, readings, or self-paced activities for delivering foundational knowledge efficiently, accommodating diverse schedules and time zones, allowing learners to process information at their own pace, and scaling to larger audiences in a cost-effective way. Consider a blended approach where synchronous sessions build on foundational knowledge gained asynchronously. For example, have learners watch concept videos before coming together to discuss application challenges. Professional learners are busy people with competing priorities. Respecting their time constraints is essential for engagement and completion. First, be realistic and transparent about your time requirements. If your course requires 4 hours per week, say so upfront, no surprises. Second, chunk learning down into manageable segments. Can busy professionals engage meaningfully in the content that you've provided? How can you present it in ways that they'll be able to access within the flow of their existing work? This might mean short videos, focus readings, or discrete activities that can be completed as bite-sized chunks. Third, design for flexibility where possible. Allow learners to download materials for offline review during commutes, or create mobile-friendly experiences for learning on the go. Finally, consider the rhythm of professional work. Are there predictable busy periods in your target industries where learning might take a back seat? Structure your timeline accordingly. Perhaps ease requirements during known crunch times, or deliver face-to-face sessions when there's more space for people to focus meaningfully. Learning doesn't happen in isolation. Some of the most valuable insights come through interaction with others who bring diverse perspectives and experiences. To enhance the social elements of your course, from just forum threads to effective peer learning, you need to design intentionally. Create discussion prompts that require the sharing of personal context and experience, not just opinions. For example, a question like, "How would this approach work in your organization?" yields richer exchanges than, "Do you agree with this approach?" Consider peer review activities where learners provide feedback on each other's work. This not only provides learners with the opportunity to see things from a different perspective, but also deepens understanding through the act of evaluating other approaches. Peer review can also lighten the load of course facilitation and management, a great way to enhance learning while bringing down the cost of delivery. For ongoing social engagement, create spaces like digital forums, group tasks, or alumni channels where learners can ask questions, share resources, and build relationships outside structured activities. While peer learning allows a cohort to be more self-directed, these activities do need to be properly set up and facilitated to increase engagement. Peer learning thrives with the right amount of guidance without being overly controlling. Assessment in professional education isn't just about checking knowledge, it's about embedding skill, applying understanding, and measuring growth. The most effective assessment strategies are authentic, mirror real-world tasks that professionals actually perform, not artificial tests. Think project work, case studies, workplace application, and implementation plans. They're also progressive, build in complexity, allowing learners to apply new skills in increasingly sophisticated ways, creating a sense of achievement and growth. They're also feedback rich, provide specific, actionable insights, not just scores. The best feedback addresses both strengths and development areas, while providing learners with the knowledge of what to do next. Effective assessment strategies are also reflective. They encourage self-assessment and are context relevant, prompt learners to evaluate their own work and consider how they would apply learning in their own practice. Professionals don't need complex assessment and marking criteria. They need meaningful challenges that demonstrate the value of what they're learning in their own context. Even the most motivated professional learners encounter challenges. Effective support structures can make the difference between pushing through or dropping out. Throughout the course journey, there are multiple support areas you'll need to plan for. Technical support, content support, progress and engagement monitoring. The best support is proactive, identifying potential roadblocks before they become barriers. Designing an exceptional learner experience isn't about bells and whistles. It's about thoughtfully crafting each element of the journey to support learners achieve meaningful growth. Professional development courses shouldn't trip people up or have complex requirements for completion. In order to upskill individuals and transform organizational capability, your course should enable real-world application of relevant materials in a way that fits into the flow of work.